All right. Shalom, Israel. First and foremost, as always, I would like to give all praises, honor, glory, respect, and blessings to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rakhaha, Quadash. Salutations to the Lord's elect on the four corners of the earth, pushing his truth and sincerity while patiently waiting for Yahweh Shai's return. And as always, double honors to our apostles and elders of Great Millstone, which have taught us everything we know through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai. And I wanted to do a video on the most lowest and the most basest people on the planet. Yes, I am talking about the Edomites, the most unworthy and the most dishonorable people on the planet, the most filthy, the most disgusting, and the most vilest people on the planet, the most profane, the most sickening, the most disturbing, and the most nastiest people on the planet, the Edomites. Now, for those who don't know, the Holy Scriptures, what the world calls the Holy Bible, describes the Edomites as being all of these words I've listed, and even more than that. Okay. And the reason why these Edomites, which will be the self-proclaimed white man, which starts with the so-called elites who call themselves Rothschilds and Rockefellers, trickling down to the rest of their nation of people. Okay, the reason why they were set up in power is to fulfill biblical prophecy. In the last days, the Holy Scriptures, with the Holy Bible, what the world calls the Holy Bible, describes that when these crackers get back into power, they would lie to everybody on the planet. They would deceive everybody on the planet, convincing the world that they are God's chosen people, okay, in which they are not. Okay. And furthermore, the Holy Scriptures, what the world calls the Holy Bible, describes God's chosen people as being the so-called Negro, Latino, and Native Indians. We are God's true chosen people. And the proof of that is Bible prophecy. Okay, prophetically speaking, what condition and what position would the Israelites be in the last days, in which we are in the last days? The Bible would describe them as being the ones that live in the ghettos, the reservations, and the slums, being in the poorest conditions, killing one another, okay, women being out of order, eating the worst foods, and generally having the worst living conditions, okay. The Bible also described that the Israelites would not have their own army. They would not have their own land, as our land is the land of Israel. But even that's been taken away from us as a punishment for our disobedience towards the Heavenly Father, okay? The Holy Scriptures describe the Israelites, which will be the so-called Negro, Latino, and Native Indians, in the last days, in the latter days, of not having their own military, not having their own city, not having their own country, okay? Not even having a voice at these peace summit meetings, okay? And generally they would have nothing and they would own nothing. Okay. And like it tells you in Deuteronomy, the 28th chapter, they will go to their enemy for the one of all things, in which the enemy of the Israelites will be the Edomites, of whom came out of the same father known as Isaac in the book of Genesis, the 25th chapter. Okay. Esau, who is Edom, is described as red. And the reason why he came out of Rebekah's womb red all over is because he was born without brown skin. That's why Esau was described as being red all over. Because if you're born without brown skin, okay, then the moment you come out of your mother's womb as a baby, your blood is going to show forth through your skin. As we may know, blood is the color of red. So that's why Esau was described as red coming out, okay? And in the last days, Esau will be the Esau who is Edom, the Edomites, okay? Genesis, the 36th chapter, Esau is Edom, okay? The Edomites will be the ones in the power seat, ruling over the earth. As when you read the book of Job, chapter 9, verse 24, it tells you that the earth would be given into the hands of the wicked, okay? In which Edom is described as the wicked when you read Malachi 1, verse 4, whereas Edom saith, we are impoverished, but we will return and build the desolate places. Thus saith the Lord, Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shai. They shall build, but I will throw down, and they shall call them what? The border of wickedness. And the people against whom the Lord, the Heavenly Father, have indignation forever. So not only do the Heavenly Father hate Edomites, not only do the Messiah hate Edomites, okay? Okay, the Heavenly Father and the Messiah, who are described as looking like, very dark brown skinned men with woolly hair. Okay? And a matter of fact, if the Heavenly Father and his Son was walking the earth today, they would be described as looking like black people, what the world ignorantly calls black people, in which so-called Negroes come from the tribe of Judah, okay? So they would be described as looking like black people. The angels, if the angels were walking the earth today, they would look like what the world calls black people. They would look like us, black people, woolly hair and brown skin. And the reason why we say so-called black is because we're not black. Nobody on this planet is black. Okay, we are different shades of brown. But again, black and white were social constructs created to push so-called white supremacy, which is really not white supremacy. It's Edomite supremacy. Because you so-called white people, you're not white. Y'all don't have a skin complexion, which is why your blood shows forth through your skin whenever you get angry, whenever you get mad, whenever you get slapped, punched, uppercut, roundhouse kicked, whenever you get embarrassed, humiliated. What happens? Your blood shows forth through your skin because your skin is translucent. We all have white meat underneath our skin. But the thing with you so-called white people is that your white meat is shown underneath your skin because your skin is clear, which is what I mean by your skin being translucent. Y'all have clear skin, which makes it possible for the white meat to show underneath your skin. So ain't nobody on this planet white. Y'all don't have white skin. Y'all don't even have a skin color. And the reason why you're described as red, because of the blood that shows forth through because of the blood that shows forth underneath your skin. Okay, especially when y'all stand out in a hot blazing sun. I don't need to explain what color y'all turn. Okay, and furthermore, when we go to the book of Leviticus, having leprosy is described as a curse. Okay, and that's exactly what you so-called white people have. Y'all will be known as clean lepers, but it still don't change the fact that y'all have leprosy. And leprosy is described as a curse in the book of Leviticus. And I believe that's also in the book of Deuteronomy. I mean, not Deuteronomy, the book of Numbers. When the Lord plagued Miriam with leprosy, because Miriam was a black woman, as the world would say. Moses was a black man, as the world would say, right? And the reason why Miriam became leprous, white as snow, was because she had melanin, and the Lord stripped her of her melanin, which makes her brown, making her leprous. Okay, so Miriam received a curse for being out of order. And then as soon as Aaron saw his sister Miriam, what did he say? Lo, behold, bring not this curse upon us. So it's a curse to look like an Edomite. According to the Holy Scriptures, it is a curse to look like a self-proclaimed white person. And according to the Bible, these are the basest of men, of whom have been set up in the earth in the latter days to spread wickedness, nonsense, superfluous ideas, worthlessness, trash, vileness, and profaneness all throughout the planet Earth. Which is what leads us to Daniel chapter 4, verse 17. This matter is by the decree of the watchers, and the demand by the word of the holy ones, to the intent that the living may know that the Most High ruleth in the kingdom of men, and giveth it to whomsoever he will. Okay? And setteth up over it, over what? Over the planet Earth, the basis of men. Okay? Who are the top most powerful people on the planet right now? They're all Edomites, which call themselves elites. Okay? They're known as the Rothschilds, the Rockefellers, the DuPonts, the Gettys, the Oppenheimers, the Disneys. I believe I said the Gettys. Okay? These are all so-called elite families, okay, who have total control over the whole face of the earth. And amongst the Edomites, don't get me wrong, there are different tiers of people. The top tiers will be the so-called elites, okay, and all of the super rich families. Okay, and then you got the second highest tier Edomites, okay, which will be your high-ranking officials such as Elon Musk, Donald Trump, okay, the leader of ICE, okay, and all of these so-called white officials who portray themselves to be your representatives, who work for your offices like the Senate, the Congress, the judicial system. Okay? And actually, let me take that back. They will be the third tier, talking of Elon Musk, Donald Trump, and etc. Your high-ranking officials, the people who, the so-called white people who work for your Senate or Congress. Yeah, them. That will be your third tier. The second tier would be you Edomites who operate in the midst of the Illuminati. And I'm talking about these high-ranking Illuminati members that you don't even see on TV. Okay, which will be your sorcerers and your warlocks and your soothsayers and all of these wicked beings who deal with familiar spirits, summoning demons and sending up demonic enchantment. Okay, worshiping idols and sacrificing children unto these different idols. Okay, they will be the second tier, the second highest tier amongst the Edomites. And then the third highest tier will be like Donald Trump, Elon Musk's, Klaus Schwab, Gil Bates, okay, Bill Gates, Hillary Clinton, Bill Clinton, all these people that work for your senates, your judicial system, people who call themselves your House of Representatives, the people who operate the judicial system, that would be your third highest tier amongst the Edomites. Okay? And then you got your fourth highest tier amongst the Edomites, the so-called white people who call themselves celebrities, your actors. Yeah, I'm talking about the ones who had to, eat doo-doo and drink cum and they had to bathe in raw piss. They had to molest children, take it up the butt. Okay? Edomite men who had trains ran on them. Okay? While getting bitch slapped. Yeah, those men. Those will be your fourth highest tier of men amongst the Edomites. Okay? All of these celebrities, whether if they're movie actors, movie producers, rather if they they're music producers, rather if they are in the sports industries, okay, that will be your fourth highest tier of Edomites in this society. Okay, and then you got your fifth tier of Edomites, and these are the ones that pretty much own your businesses. Okay, they own all of the businesses that you go into. Okay, I don't care if it's the food chain industry. I don't care if it's the clothing department. I don't care if it's the merchandise department, the entertainment department, the sports industry. The transportation industry, okay, the power plants, the nuclear reactors, every business you could think of, merchandise, gold, silver, department stores like Walmart, they own them all. I'm talking about the Edomites, especially them small hats, them 1948ers in the land of Israel claiming to be Jewish, and they're not Jewish. They're Edomites. They are descendants of Esau, namely Amalekites, which an Amalekite is a descendant of Esau, which makes him a Edomite. So they're not Jewish. Those people over there in the land of Israel calling themselves Jewish, they're not Jewish. They're Edomites. They come from the line of Esau. Okay? And it's not the first time these damn Edomites done stole somebody's nationality, okay? But anyways, that's a lesson for another, a topic for another time. Okay, so that's your fifth, highest tier of Edomites. They own all of your businesses and corporations. Okay, and then you got the sixth tier of Edomites. And these are your so-called hard-working class citizens who would be wealthy or close to rich. But they're basically so wealthy that they live in these super decent neighborhoods. They have these high-paying jobs. They live in these beautiful houses. And generally they live in some of the best places around the world. That's your sixth highest tier of Edomites. And then you got your lowest tier of Edomites. Okay? You got your lowest tier of Edomites. And these are the ones, they pretty much work standard jobs, but because of their so-called white privilege, which is really a Edomite privilege, they pretty much get a pay raise where they can make enough money to live in a decent neighborhood. These are your type of Edomites that live on your farms. Okay, they're responsible for your crops, spraying chemicals on your crops. They spray chemicals on your crops. Whenever they're making your pastries to make Pop-Tarts, they're literally stepping in this pot barefooted. They're stepping in your pots barefooted, little nasty, crusty ass feet. Got bed bugs on their jeans and shit. Hawking and spitting Louis in your Pop-Tarts and shit. Talking about wee-ha. They're there in the pot humping the dough, farting, losing their mind to just being Edomites, cavemen. And these are also Edomites that, they live out in places like the middle of nowhere. They're not associated with society. So as I read right here in Daniel 4 verse 17, the Lord setteth up over it the basest of men. Okay. When you read Job chapter 9 verse 24, it tells you the earth is given into the hand of the wicked, which will be the Edomites. Malachi 1 and 4, the Edomites are described as the wicked. Now, I looked up the definition for basest from google.com, and check this out. And this is the second definition for base. If you notice, it says base 2 right here, not base 1, but base 2, because base 2 has a different meaning from base 1. Okay, so basis of a person or a person's actions. Okay, now let's stop right there. Of a person or of a person's actions. Okay, now obviously we know that the self-proclaimed white man, which are the biblical Edomites, have control over the whole face of the earth, right? Okay, now you tell me, how is he treating the planet? How is he treating the animals of the planet? How is he treating the earth's atmosphere? How's he treating the insects of the planet? How's he treating the marine life in the oceans? How's he treating the fowl of the air? How's he treating the people of the earth? Right? Is it of a noble act? Do the animals respect these devils? Do the people of the earth respect these devils? You know, it is how he's treating the earth honorable. Is how he's treating the water honorable. Is how he's treating the air honorable. Who's responsible for chemtrails in the air? What's in the chemtrails? Barium, arsenic, aluminum, estrogen, mercury, aluminum. And if anybody know anything about mercury or aluminum, both metals are extremely toxic to the body. And breathing in high amounts of mercury or aluminum can lead to autism. It can lead to a person being super docile. And let me remind you that mercury is one of the metals that can get through the blood-brain barrier and literally affect the brain cells in your brain. Oh, look what time it is, 1:44. Call Halayim La, Alahaya Nawa, Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai. Okay? Aluminum is a dangerous metal that weakens the immune system. Now, why would they want to weaken the immune system? So it makes it easier for the Band-Aid or the taco sauce to get into the immune system and ultimately destroy it, leaving you more prone to diseases. So you end up dying more sooner than later in the future, you know. And these chemtrails are sprayed on a daily basis. Who's responsible for the chemtrails? The Edomites are. Okay? The water. Who poisoned the water? The Edomites have. Okay? What's in the water? Microcosmic shrimp, fluoride, chlorine, which chlorine is that's a bleach-like substance chemical, which do not belong in the body. Chlorine is something they put in swimming pool water. Okay? And do not nature tell you that you're not supposed to drink swimming pool water? But yet they're putting it in your actual drinking water that come out of your homes. And it's not just microcosmic shrimp that's in the water. It's not just chlorine that's in the water. It's not just shrimp that's in the water. There's microscopic little particles of feces in the water. There's harmful metals in the water. There's lead in the water. And not to mention, your water is coming out of a faucet that's made from Teflon, in which another name for Teflon goes back to a chemical which goes by the acronym of PFOA. PFOA is an acronym for perfluorooctanic acid. And this is a chemical known to cause hypertension in pregnancy. It's known to cause cancer, type 2 diabetes. It's known to cause corrosion of teeth. But yet, you go to your store and you'll buy a Teflon pan, a Teflon pot. And all those chemicals is getting into your food every time you cook in a Teflon pan or a Teflon pot. It may seem harmless at first, until after much scraping of the pot or the pan, you start to see these little black substances come off the pot until your scrubbing pad or onto your spatula or your spoon. So yes, the Edomites are responsible for that, poisoning the water. Okay? And the reason why the river water and the lake water and the ponds, the reason why they all look all murky and nasty and gooey is because these Edomites took all the gold and the silver out of the waters, which was responsible for purifying the waters. And I don't need to tell you that they've taken all of the creatures out of the oceans, which are responsible for keeping the oceans clean, like crabsters, like lobsters, crabs, okay, shrimp. These are all the sea roaches of the seas. Okay? You people think roaches only exist on land? No. There's roaches in the sea too. Did you know that lobsters are known as sea roaches? Okay? As a matter of fact, let's come over here. Let's open up a new window and let's look up what a roach is. Okay, oh look, there's a picture of one right there. Man, the internet does a really good job of answering questions instantaneously sometimes. Steve Pennon, that's an excellent picture of a roach. But hold on, let me. No. Yeah, let's do this. Okay, roach definition. Yes, what is the definition of a roach? Okay. And they give you, let me see, what is considered a roach? Why would someone call someone a roach? It can refer to a person who is visually dirty or unclean and is emitting very bad smells. It definitely sounds like Edomites to me. Okay. See what roach definition. Roach definition. Let's see. Okay, a silver green European freshwater cyprinid fish. Let's see. Any of various related fishes, such as some shiners. Let me see. Okay. Now. Okay. So, they're telling you that roaches live in the sea. Now, they're not going to mention lobsters. They're not going to mention shrimps. But those will also be considered sea roaches because, in actuality, a roach is simply a pest, whether on land or in the oceans, that feed. Roaches are, they basically feed on the feces and the gout and pretty much and anything that would make the oceans dirty. The lobsters and the shrimps are there to clean it up. Okay? Okay, they're like the bottom feeders of the oceans. Okay? They feed on the feces and other unclean substances in the oceans. A roach pretty much eat whatever is remaining, you know, in the wildlife or in the house. You know, rather if it's crumbs, you see, rather if food is left out. Okay, roaches are like scavengers, okay? Well, guess what? A lobster is likened unto a scavenger. And these creatures that live in the seas, such as the lobsters and the shrimps, okay, they're responsible for keeping the oceans and the rivers clean, the lakes clean. So when you take these creatures out of the oceans, what happened? The oceans, the rivers, the lakes, they become all murky. Bacteria builds up. Okay? They began to look dirty. You know? Murky. And not only do they take these creatures out of the oceans, they sell them in restaurants as a delicacy. So you're basically eating sea roaches. But you got people out there that's eating these like it's a delicacy, okay? Don't you know that people used to feed lobster, shrimp, and crab as slop to prisoners in prison? But now it's a delicacy in restaurants. The sea roaches. Okay, you're not supposed to eat those type of creatures. They will be known as crustaceans, right? Okay, so who's responsible for the oceans, you know, being all murky and toxic? You know, who's been dumping, you know, who's been dumping garbage in the oceans? Whenever the landfills get too full, okay, they'll take all the garbage using a trailer tractor or something like that, and they'll push all the garbage onto a wide big ship. And then when the ship gets out to the middle of the ocean, you know what they would do? They'll take all that garbage and dump it in the oceans. Why are fishes and sea creatures beaching themselves? Who's responsible for that? And in the midst of all that garbage, you got harmful and toxic metals. You got plastics being dumped in the oceans. Plastic is not good for the body. Okay? And a matter of fact, plastic contains a chemical called bisphenol, which is another chemical which is responsible for the high rate of cancer. Okay? Bisphenol is a chemical that not only causes cancer, okay, it gives you infirmity of the eyes, it weakens your immune system, and it gives you a bone deteriorating disease called osteoporosis. Okay, you want to know why people's bones break so easily nowadays? It's because there's deficiency in the milk because of how these Edomite farmers are treating the cows. You know, so there's deficiency in the milk, the lack of protein, and there's plastic everywhere. Your food wrapped in plastic. Your potato chips wrapped in plastic. Your chicken, your steak, your lamb, your beef wrapped in plastic. Cereal wrapped in plastic with high levels of metal in it that makes you constipated if you eat too much cereal. Okay, your eggs come in styrofoam, which is dangerous. You're not supposed to touch styrofoam. Styrofoam contains nano-sized particles that can get into the pores of your skin. And make you sick. That's why people who work around styrofoam in these factories, they wear gloves. Because it's a safety hazard to be touching styrofoam when you're working in a factory without gloves. And yet, some of your meat products is sitting on styrofoam. And who's responsible for that? The Edomites. You know why? Because the Lord setteth up over the planet Earth as the rulers, the basest of men. And the definition for base is who? Of a person or of a person's actions. Okay? So they literally ruined the marine life. But then you motherfucking Edomite ass cave beasts wonder why you motherfuckers are getting eaten by sharks. You could just be swimming in the ocean, minding your own business, and then out of nowhere, you see a Edomite getting pulled underwater. You know. Oh my God! Where did Sally go? Sally! Sally, where are you? Well, I'll tell you what Sally is. Sally is inside the belly of a fucking shark because the marine life hates you motherfucking Edomites. No! You know, hey, you want to complain? Your ass will be the next one on the fucking meal list. Okay? You Edomites are getting drowned by octopuses. Okay? Damn, whoa. What was the name of that Edomite that got stung in the chest by a stingray? Okay? Who would pity a charmer that is bitten with a serpent, or such as come nigh wild beasts? Okay? You know, Mr. Crocodile Dundee, they like to creep up on dangerous animals. Because like it tells you in the book of Genesis, the 25th chapter, Esau was described as a man of the field. Okay, he was a cunning hunter, a man of the field. You know, you motherfuckers are getting stung to death by jellyfish down there. Y'all getting eaten alive by piranhas. You know. You got octopuses down there spraying ink in your face. Like, nigga, get the fuck out of here. Nigga, get out of here. Get out of my habitat. Before I squeeze your ass to death. You got Edomites, you know, diving in the most deepest part of the oceans to see how deep the ocean go. What do they call it? The Mariana Trench? You had a dumbass who went way down there and died. Because he went too deep. His mind started bugging out. His eyes started looking all over the place. He started to panic. He was running out of air in his oxygen tank. And ultimately, he just perished. He was probably an Edomite too. You know? And you Edomites do some of the most dangerous shit. Okay? I've seen an Edomite on YouTube jumping out of an airplane without a parachute. You know, and that's another thing about you Edomites. Y'all love playing with danger, man. So your actions show that y'all are the basest of men, right? dumping nuclear waste in the oceans. But then people wonder why fishes are beaching themselves with two heads. Okay? You got mutated whales showing up on the oceans. You got sea creatures beaching themselves by the hundreds of thousands. Fish is dying in the oceans. Why? Because you Edomites have poisoned the ocean so much with your goddamn trash, your nuclear waste. You know, dumping all the oil and shit in the oceans. To the point to where the fishes can't gather enough oxygen to even, you know, swim around down there and survive. You know? Look at the wildlife. Who's responsible for deforestation? What is deforestation? When somebody cuts down a large acre of land worth of trees for the sake of building businesses, power plants, nuclear plants, corporations. But then you Edomites are wondering why the animals are attacking you. Because the animals never forget the face of the nation of people responsible for their habitat, you know, being destroyed. You cutting hundreds of thousands of acres worth of land of trees just to build businesses and shit, causing animals to relocate, to change the area where they used to sleep at. Birds got to build new homes. You know, squirrels got to find other places where they can eat and risk being prey to other predators. You know, animals got to change where they hunt at, where they eat at, where they mate at. Because you motherfuckers want to cut down trees and shit just to build corporations. You know? Now, don't get me wrong. There's nothing wrong with cutting down trees if you're just using it to, build a home or to build a campfire. Okay? Eventually, that tree is going to grow back. But nah, man, you Edomites you're just cutting down hundreds of thousands of acres of land of trees. You know, rooting up the foundation of the tree and shit. So you could build a basement for a fucking factory, man. And all these factories are doing is polluting the earth. You got harmful, toxic chemicals and water being pumped into the earth, being pumped through pipelines, leaking pipelines that's going into the earth. And then you wonder why there isn't grass or plants growing anywhere anymore. You got them replaced with artificial grass and trees, which is not good for the human body or for animals or birds. Only the bases of men would do some shit like that. So you motherfuckers have literally destroyed the whole earth. You know, let's look at the food supply. You know, who the hell comes up with the idea for GMO foods, GMO organs? Okay, 95% of the food you buy from your nearby Walmart store. Okay. You know, the foods that you buy from your nearby grocery stores, 95% of it is GMO. It's been genetically modified. You know, now it's good circulating on YouTube that There's bread that when you fold it up, right? Okay, when you fold up normal bread, right? It's supposed to stay folded up. It's supposed to stay squished. When you squish bread, it's supposed to stay squished. But there's a video on YouTube of some guys, some jakes who squished up some bread, right? They squished up some bread, and don't you know the bread literally unfolded itself? And basically the fingerprints came back out. So none of the food is real, man. They put rat shit in chocolate, cow snot in milk, okay? All the blood and the pus that was in the milk from farmers over milking the cows. Yeah, don't you know that these Edomite farmers have milked the cows so much that the udders will start to bleed? In some cases, pus will come out of the udders. You're literally hurting the cow when you milk it too much, man. You're hurting the cow. You know the cow's in pain when it starts bleeding from its udders because you're milking it too much. You know, the cows are unhealthy. They're over here feeding the cows candy. Like, come on, man. What are you doing? You know, you're feeding the cows candy. You're cutting open their belly, and you're literally sticking a tube in it, force feeding it. You farmers have did some horrendous things to these animals before they died. But then people wonder why the quality of food is going down. There's a particular way you go about killing an animal before you use it for food consumption. You know? Because when you kill an animal in a particular way, you know, all of the salt, and because meat is naturally supposed to be salted. It's supposed to, every meat product that you cook is supposed to have some form of salt in it. Because animals that are lawful to eat, such as goat, lamb, you know, bulls, cows, you know, they eat grass. And grass has a certain level of salt in it. So we know that these animals have a certain level of salt in their diet. So when they die, you know, there's a level of salt that is released into the meat. So that before you collect it and before you cook it, the meat is naturally salted. Now, if you wanted to add more salt to it, there's grains of salt that comes from plants that you can add to it. But nowadays, man, you eat meat and it's like, what is this? You know, it came from a fully grown cow. Yeah, but the cow don't went through torture before it died, and you know, all of the chemicals that was supposed to be released into the meat from the animal before it died did not get released because the animal was in so much pain before it died. You know? So the quality of food went down, the quality of the air went down, the quality of the water went down, the quality of life itself went down ever since the bases of men gained rule over the whole face of the earth. You know? And yeah, they're putting metals in cereal. So if you're wondering why you're getting constipated after eating so much cereal, because eating cereal is not supposed to make you constipated, man. Okay? The reason why you're getting constipated from eating cereal is because of all the metals in it. Okay? All of the harmful, toxic metals in it. You know? And not only do cereal contain metals, these Edomites also put metal inside of baby food. Think I'm lying? Go buy go buy some Gerber Similac baby powder and take a magnet to it and tell me I'm lying when the food literally gravitates to the magnet. Okay? Food is not supposed to gravitate to no motherfucking magnet, man. So they're putting metals in baby food as well. Okay? Some of the cheese that you buy is made from animal rennet. The animal rennet, okay, the animal rennet comes from pigs, pork. So they're putting pork in particular foods, particular meats, particular candies. But then people wonder why people are going insane. People are losing their minds. You know, look who's in rulership. Look what you're eating. So base, right, of a person or a person's actions, feelings without moral principles. Ignoble. So these devils do not have moral principles. Okay? No person with a moral principle would destroy the earth. Okay? And now they're spraying particular pesticides in the air that kills off particular insects. You know? How often do you see bees in the wintertime? I mean, how often do you see bees in the summertime? You know? When I was a child, I used to see bees all the time, man. Bees, wasps. You know? You know? You know? No, there's particular insects that you will almost never see anymore. Dragonflies. How often do you see dragonflies? Normally when I would see dragonflies when I was a child, they would be in parks. They would be at parks, baseball fields, okay? Football fields. Around the school grounds. You don't even see dragonflies anymore, man. And now they're taking human meat from all the children and people they don't kidnap, talking about the Illuminati. They're grinding their bodies up and they're mixing the human meat in with fast food meat. You know, people looking at McDonald's like, ugh. But you better start looking at these other restaurants too, man, because they're not so innocent. You know, Wendy's, Burger King, and definitely stay away from Taco Bell because they'll tell you that they're giving you ground beef from lawful animals, but no, it's really horse meat. You know, and then they're putting estrogen in chicken. So yeah, man. This is what happens when the bases of men have rule over the whole planet. Let's look at the other nations. What are these Edomites doing to the other nations? Bombing them? Sending in economic hitmen to destroy their economy. They're sending in agent provocateurs to stir up riots and protests. You see? They're sending in agents. You know? And then, if that wasn't bad enough, they're over here creating robots programmed to kill people. Slaughter bots, death bots. Okay? Slaughter bots, death. I forgot the other one. Death bots, but there's another one too. No, slaughter bots. But anyways, you know, then on top of that, these Edomites are passing all kind of laws and legislations that make your life far more difficult than what it needs to be. How the fuck are you a veteran here in the United States but you're homeless? Okay, the scripture speaks about a man of war that suffered poverty. You know, you're supposed to take care of a man that fights for your country. But he's over here homeless, mad, hurt, looking like a roach. You know, smelling like, you know, rotten chili and old diapers. Just through. You know? So let's look up the definition for base in etymology dictionary. I'll just go ahead and reload this. So this is the definition of base from the etymologydictionary.com, right? It says foundation, right, of a building, pedestal. So, you know, speaking of a foundation, right, when we read Habakkuk 2 verse 5, what does it say? Let's get there real quick. Habakkuk 2 verse 5. You know what? Let me start at verse 4, actually. So Habakkuk chapter 2. Now I'll start at 4. Okay. Behold, his soul which is lifted up is not upright in him, but the just shall live by his faith. Okay. And the just are the Israelites. There's nothing just about an Edomite. Okay. There's nothing just about Edomites, because his soul which is lifted up is not upright in him. Okay. Like it tells you in Isaiah 26 verse 10, I believe. Let favor be shown to the wicked, yet shall he not learn righteousness. In the land of uprightness, he will not behold the majesty of the Lord, because his soul, the soul of these Edomites, which is lifted up, is not upright in him. Right? Who could bring an unclean thing out of a clean one? Not one. Okay. Habakkuk 2 verse 5. Yea, also because he transgresseth by wine, he is a proud man, neither keepeth at home, who enlargeth his desire as hell, and is as death, and cannot be satisfied, but gathereth unto him all nations, and heapeth unto him all people. So this man, these Edomites, is as death, and he cannot be satisfied. Okay? No, he is as death, and he cannot be satisfied. You know? But the point is that he transgresseth by wine. And what is that wine? That wine is the democracy of these Edomites, right? And what would be the base or the foundation of the what would be the base? What would be the foundation of the democracy of these Edomites? That's right. The Aleister Crowley doctrine, doest thou wilt, shall be the will of the law. You know, and through that type of doctrine by Aleister Crowley, basically it teaches that people can do whatever they want to do. People can be whatever they want to be. Okay? People can, you know, live their life how they want to live their life. You know, as long as, you know, you're not violating any of the U.S. constitutions, do as thou wilt. And that's America's democracy. That's why you got moles walking around, because you got people who want to be, you know, fruitcakes, moles, Queers, you know. That's why you got drug addicts running rampant. You got people dying of drug overdoses, you know. You got people getting body mods and tattoos all over their body. You got people dyeing their hair pink, blue, purple, orange, you know, red, yellow. You know, talking about the rainbow community. You know, you got Libiquita running rampant in the U.S. You got pedophiles just doing whatever they want. You got people getting married to horses, cats, dogs, pigs. You got people having sex with animals. You know, don't be surprised if you buy some meat but you end up tasting some semen inside of it, because these Edomites love having sex with their animals before cutting them up and selling them. Okay? No, you got people selling drugs, doing drugs, drug dealers. You know? You got people who eat whatever they want to eat. You know? You got people who grow up to just be whatever they want to be. And I'm not talking about in a cool, awesome, or badass way. I'm talking about in some of the most weirdest ways possible. You know? You got a dude walking into a girl's bathroom talking about he identifies as a woman. You know? You know, sitting his little hairy ass down on a woman's toilet, letting out loud ass farts and shit. No, a woman should look. A woman will be sitting on the toilet next to his stool, just listening to this nigga. Oh shit! She have that look on her face like, excuse me, is that a man? Wait, that's not a dude that's shitting next to me, is it? Then nigga pulling out his rod, peeing all in the toilet and shit. talking about he identifies as a woman. Nigga letting out some loud explosive shits in the toilet. Damn, bruh. Meanwhile, you got a little 6-year-old girl on the toilet next to him, just listening to this nigga. Confused. Got a confused look on her face, like, huh? You know? But who's responsible for that? The Edomites are. And Aleister Crowley, damn sure, was an Edomite. Okay? So that's America's democracy. You know? You got people bathing in mud, mire, shit. You know? You got people who identify as a horse. What? Nigga, what? You're a human being, but you identify as a horse? And some of you Edomites, you're so fucking ugly, some of y'all actually do look like horses. So the definition for base, right? Foundation, which the foundation of these Edomites and how they rule and govern things is all backed by the Aleister Crowley doctrine. They just call it democracy today. And no nation on this planet wants a part of America's democracy because they see how it destroys the man, the woman, you know, when women's live, you know, women being given rights, authority, power over the man. You know, the men being effeminized, emotional, don't want to do shit. You know? I mean, it's just a bunch of weirdos here in America, man. Studying barnacle dicks. So the definition for base, right? Let me see. Foundation of a building, pedestal, statue, in general, bottom of anything considered as its support. From old, let me see, from Latin, basis, foundation, let me see, step, let me see. What I want is the adjective. Here we go. This is the real definition that I want. The definition of base. Okay, it says low, of little height, right? Base, low, lowly. Okay? Notice it says mean right there. The word mean. Esau is a mean person. Isn't he not known as a churl in the Holy Scriptures? He's known as a churl. A mean, evil ruler. That's the Edomites. It says thick, stumpy, low. Yeah, stumpy. A stump is something that you step on. And these Edomites may not seem like that now because they've been set up in rulership. But when they asses go back into when they asses go into slavery in the kingdom of heaven, it's going to be known that they are the bases of men. Okay? It says humilis, being there the usual word for low in stature or position, which is of uncertain origin, possibly from Oscan or Celtic or related to Greek basin. Yeah, Jake is simple. It says comparative of babies deep, low on the social scale. Okay? So I like that. These motherfucking Edomites are low on the social scale. Hit copy there so I can look that up. What is the social scale? So these Edomites are described as being the lowest on the social scale. That of low and moral scale. And you cannot tell me these Edomites are low on a moral scale. Just look at the condition of the earth. Geoengineering, HARP. Okay? They messed up the food, the water, the land, the animals, the insects, the marine life, the oceans. Everything is all out of whack. Because the men that are the lowest in moral scales have been placed as the top rulers upon the face of the earth. Because the Lord setteth up over the earth the bases of men. Okay, the meaning befitting an inferior person or nation of people or thing unworthy. Okay, base metals were worthless in contrast to noble or precious metals. And you can also equate that to people. Okay? Because there's a nation of people on this planet that are worthless. Okay? But in these movies and in these TV shows, they portray themselves as the heroes or saviors or as the betters of the nation of people on the planet. But in reality, it says different about these people. In the Holy Scriptures, it tells you different about these Edomites, these people. They are inferior. They are unworthy. They are the lowest in the moral scale of things. They are the lowest on the social scale of things. These Edomites are described as the bases of men. So let's come over here. Okay, let's type in, what is the, and then we're going to hit paste right here. What is the social scale? Social scale or social ladder. The hierarchy, how do you say that word? The hierarchical structure of society, which society deals with a country or a nation of people or a group of nations of people. There's a total of 18 different nations on this planet. Okay. It says the hierarchical structure of society or of a society. So if you know anything about hierarchy deals with like where people stand at in society. Like look at animals in a hierarchy on a hierarchy scale. You know, with the lion, right, being the top amongst the animal family, you know, when it comes to, you know, speed, strength, you know, excellency and prowessness. And then below the lion, you have who? You have the tigers, you know, and then below the tiger, you have the jaguar, you have the panthers, you know, you have the cougars. And then below them, you know, you have the bears, you know. You have the polar bears, etc. And so, like, I'm giving you an example of a hierarchy. So, on the social scale, the top nation of people on the planet will be the Israelites, which will be the so-called Negro, Latino, and Native Indians. Okay? We are the top people upon the face of the earth. When it comes to entertainment, boxing, being athletes, when it comes to talent, rapping, singing, acting, okay? When it comes to talent and skills, who's who? Well, when it comes to strength, when it comes to when it comes to wisdom, skill, knowledge, intelligence, who are the top people on the planet? We are the Israelites. And the matter of fact, the Israelites are the ones keeping this goddamn society alive. Okay, without us, America wouldn't be shit. Okay? Imagine if we decided to leave America and go live in Brazil, you know, or to go live somewhere else around the world. These Edomites will literally go to those countries looking for us, begging for us to come back to them. Okay? We are y'all motherfuckers entertainment, you know. We are y'all's brains. You know, the first refrigerator, the first engine, the first elevator, okay? The first toilet paper, the first toilet, okay? The first computer, the first TV, television, the first telegraphic phone, the first phone. It was all created by us. Now, all you have to do is go to Google and type in black inventions, and we're not black. We are the Hebrew Israelites, God's true chosen people that the Holy Scriptures speak of. Okay? So, when it comes to the social ladder, the top people on the planet will be the Israelites, okay? The second in command, I believe, would be the Ishmaelites, because Ishmael was a son of Abraham, okay? You know? And then, of course, you got the Japhetic people. Then after them, well, you got the East Indians. Then you got the Japhetic people. Then after them, you got the Hamites. You know, cause Ham, you're pretty low people too, man. When I say you Hamites, I'm talking about you Africans. You motherfuckers are pretty low too, man. You know, putting bowls in your lip, bathing in cow piss. You know, building houses out of dung, eating dung cakes. With salt and syrup on it. So you motherfuckers you're not really on no level either. And then after the Hamites, right, the Africans will be, no, it will be the Chinese and Japanese first, then the Hamites, which are the Africans. And then after them, then it will be the Edomites. They are way at the bottom of the social ladder. So go ahead and say, well, you know, we got all these computers and fancy technology, and we look at all the inventions we got. We don't see any of you niggers creating it. Okay, cool, you know. But who's responsible for the earth being in a fucked up condition? Exactly. The Chinese people ain't doing it. The Japanese people ain't doing it. The Africans ain't doing it. These East Indians ain't doing it. The Israelites ain't doing it. Okay? You know? Only a nigger would spray some chemtrails in the air, poisoning the same air that they gotta breathe. You Edomites are responsible for that, right? But anyways, that's why the Holy Scriptures call y'all the basest of men. Okay? Let me see something. Let's come over here. I want to go to the book of Job, right? And I believe it's Job, the 30th chapter. Let me see. Okay. Job chapter 30 verse 1. But now they that are younger than I have me in derision. Okay. And when he says younger than I, he's talking about the Edomites. Because before the Edomites came into existence through Isaac and Rebekah, okay, everybody on the planet were dark-skinned people. Different shades of brown with woolly hair. So Esau was the first person who came out of Rebekah's womb. You know, he was the very first person to come out. Esau was the very first person to come out of a woman's womb, Rebekah's womb. Okay, looking completely undone. You know, having no melanin in his skin. Okay, melanin is responsible for what makes your skin look brown. So Esau was the very first being to be born on this planet with no melanin. So that's why he's described as being younger than Job. Okay, because you know Job's kind has been around even since the Garden of Eden, in which Adam and Eve were all dark brown-skinned people with woolly hair. Okay, and Adam and Eve, okay, the Adamites were a group of people. Okay, Adam and Eve didn't start with no two people who populated the earth. Okay, the Adam and Eve were known as a group of people. Okay, and during the time of Adam and Eve, there was three category of men. You had the sons of God, which that was us in the Garden of Eden, the sons of God. Okay, we fell from our grace after we started diving into those wicked, the wicked knowledge of evil, you know. And then you got the sons of men, which were the Arabs, the East Indians, the Africans back then, the Chinese and Japanese people back then, the Japhetic people, which would be the Samoans, okay, the Etruscans, the Hawaiians, the Maoians, those people, okay, those will be the sons of men right there. And then you had the sons of the wicked, which were you Edomites. Except y'all had brown skin and woolly hair back then. Okay? Y'all were known as the sons of the wicked. But now they that be younger than I, the Edomites, have me in derision, whose father I would have disdained to have sat with the dogs of my flock. Right, because you Edomites love to have sex with animals. Here, come here, pretty doggy. I won't hurt you, pretty doggy. The bark. No, now the dog's butthole is about as big as your mouth because you don't put your rod in it. Okay. Okay. Yea, whereto might the strength of their hands profit me, in whom old age was perished? For want and famine they were solitary, fleeing into the wilderness, in the former time desolate and waste, right? Who cut up mallows by the bushes, and juniper roots for their meat. Yeah, because when you Edomites lived in the caves, right? All you have to do is type in Mount Petra, okay? Primarily, that was the home of all of you Edomites. And in order to prevent yourselves from being nutrient deficient, okay, y'all will eat juniper roots, okay? Okay, it says they were driven forth from among men. They cried after them as after a thief. Yeah, because you Edomites were a bunch of thieves, man, going into people's farms and shit, trying to steal cabbages and carrots and all that shit. You know, and here it is. You'll go take a dump somewhere. You know, because y'all were cavemen around that time, right? So like, y'all would take a dump somewhere, then you will wipe your ass with your hand, and then wipe your hands off in the ground, and then you'll go around touching other people's crops and shit, man. You know, stealing cabbages, carrots, potatoes, tomatoes, and shit. And then when the owner of the farm will find you, he'll chase y'all motherfucking asses out of there. Get out of here. Get out of here. You know, probably was chasing y'all ass with a pitchfork in one hand and a bat in the other hand. You know. And you Edomites, y'all were definitely in that state when our King David, was in rulership, man. He had you Edomites in subjection and hardcore slavery. And guess what? When you Edomites go into slavery in the kingdom of heaven, your slavery is going to be twice as hard as hardcore slavery. Because as it is written in Revelation 18, and I believe it's verse 10, but don't quote me on it. Double unto her double, according to the double which she have filled in her cup, to her double. Okay. Okay. It says to dwell in the clefts of the valleys, in caves of the earth, and in the rocks. Okay. It says among the bushes they brayed, under the nettles they were gathered together. Yeah, they brayed. They braved like a donkey. That's how you Edomites would talk to each other. You know. I'll give you an example. Let's go to YouTube real quick. Okay. You see Dr. Scary Man. Okay. Guy encounters man walking on all fours. Let me see if I can find it. Here we go. Let me see.
How you doing?
See, this is how you Edomites used to speak to each other when y'all were in y'all caveman form. You see that guy standing over there? Listen to how he speaks. Matter of fact, let me turn on my loudspeaker so you can hear it
The Bluetooth
better.
device is ready to pair. The Bluetooth device is connected successfully.
But this is how you Edomites were when y'all were living in the caves. This is the basis of men right here.
How you doing? Just some cruisers, man. That's crazy shit. It's crawling at me like it's goddamn. What's up, dude?
Yeah, you see that? That's exactly how you Edomites were when y'all were living in the caves. Let's play that again.
Buddy, how you doing? Oh, just some cruisers, man. That's crazy shit. It's crawling at me like it's goddamn. What's up, dude?
You see? So what Job is describing here is cavemen. You know? See, the only difference now is that caveman right there had on some jeans. You Edomites was not wearing no jeans 2,000 years ago. I mean, not 2,000 years ago. During the Dark Ages. Or when King David had you motherfuckers in slavery. Y'all wasn't wearing no jeans, okay? But y'all was walking on all fours, grunting at one another like that. Like as Job is describing, okay? It says, among the bushes, they brayed. Just like how that man did. And nigga, you would have thought you was listening to one of Masterpiece's old musics and shit. Nigga said, nah. But that Edomite right there, that's an Edomite in its natural state. Crawling on all fours, talking about, See? He said, among the bushes, they brayed. Under the nettles, they were gathered together. They were children of fools. Children of base men. You see that? They were viler than the earth. And that's you Edomites. You were children of fools. Children of base men. Okay? They were viler than the earth. And now I am their song. Yea, I am their byword. Yeah, you know, these Edomites like to call us niggers and wetbacks and spicks and spooks and jigaboos and you know? Yeah, we're now their byword, right? That's because the Heavenly Father have set them up in rulership as a punishment to punish us for our iniquities, for our sins. Okay? Let's go to the book of Hebrews, chapter 12. Well, you know what? Before I read that, let's go to Romans 9. I think you know where I was going with that one. Let's go to Romans 9. Hey, dude, you okay? Okay, Romans chapter 9, verse 13. You ain't gonna never see no nigga in that kind of condition, bruh. Only Edomites. Because they was in that state before, in the past. Especially going back to when our King David, who looked like a so-called black man, was in rulership. Okay, and he had these Edomites in subjection. Guess what? They're going to go back to that state in the kingdom of heaven. Romans chapter 9, verse 13. As it is written, Jacob, the Israelites, which will be the so-called Negro, Latino, and Native Indians, Jacob have I loved, but Esau have I hated. Okay? What shall we say then? Is there unrighteousness with Yahweh? No, Yahweh forbid. For he said to Moses, I will have mercy on whom I will have mercy, and I will have compassion on whom I will have compassion. So then it is not of him that willeth, nor of him that runneth, but of Yahweh that showeth mercy. Okay? For the scripture is and when it says Esau, it's not just talking about one man. Esau is a metaphor for the whole nation of Edom, the Edomites, which will be you self-proclaimed white people. That's who Esau's talking about. You so-called white people, you are Esau. Okay? For the scripture saith unto Pharaoh, even for this same purpose have I raised thee up, that I might show my power in thee, right? The modern day Pharaoh will be the president of the United States, Donald Trump, right? Seeing that, according to the book of Revelation, the 11th chapter and the 8th verse, America is Sodom and Egypt. America, which is that great city. It says that I might show my power in thee, and that my name might be declared throughout all the earth. Therefore have he mercy on whom he will have mercy, and whom he will he hardeneth. Thou wilt say then unto me, why doth he yet find fault? For who hath resisted his will? Nay, but, O man, who art thou that repliest against Yahweh? Shall the thing formed say to him that formed it? Shall the thing formed say to him that formed it, why hast thou made me thus? Have not the potter, and who's the potter? The heavenly Father Yahweh is the potter. Have not the potter power over the clay of the same lump? And that lump is talking about Isaac, to make one vessel unto honor, which will be Jacob, and another vessel unto dishonor, which is Esau. Esau is that vessel unto dishonor. That's why when we go to Isaiah, the 24th chapter, what does it say? Okay. Isaiah 24 verse 3. The land shall be utterly emptied and utterly spoiled, for the Lord hath spoken this word. Okay. Verse 4. The earth mourneth and fadeth away. Why? Because these Edomites are constantly fracking, digging into the earth for oil. Their factories, their power plants are constantly polluting the air, injecting harmful toxins and chemicals and toxic water into the earth. Okay? These Edomites are constantly dumping garbage, trash, plastic, toxic metals, and nuclear wastes in the oceans. Okay? They're constantly taking creatures out of the sea, responsible for keeping the oceans and the rivers and the lakes clean. Okay? You got Edomites diving into rivers, peeing in the river. You know? Just being a fucking caveman. You know? They're spraying all kind of chemical trails in the air that's killing the birds, that's killing insects, that's killing animals, lizards, frogs. You know, they're spraying pesticides and harmful chemicals on food. The earth mourneth and fadeth away. Okay, why? Because the earth has been given into the hands of the wicked. The world languisheth. The world is talking about the people of the earth. They languisheth and fadeth away. Why? Because the morality of men is falling. Why is the morality of men falling? Because the basis of men who have the lowest form of moral scale has been placed over the earth. Okay? And what does it mean to have a low moral scale? It means you'll have sex with anything, you'll eat anything, you'll take your penis and you'll stick it inside of anything as long as it gives you pleasure. You know? It means that you'll molest children, you'll commit murder, you'll shed blood, you'll rob, you'll steal. You know, you'll poison the earth, the air, the food, the water. You'll kill off the marine life. You know, you'll put anything in the water, in the air. You'll force people to get, injections, which has no profit to the body. You know, the 2-step effective jab, you see, you'll literally taint anything if you could. You know, y'all like to experiment on animals, insects, frogs, you know, certain creatures from the sea. You know, y'all enjoy making people suffer. So the world languished and fadeth away because the people with the lowest moral scale has been set up to rule over the earth, the Edomites. So the world languished and fadeth away. And morality has fallen to an all-time low, man. You know, you got men that's fed up with women. Women don't know what they want anymore. They're confused. They're talking about a high body count because the basis of men is in rulership. And then you Edomites wonder why the East Indians, which will be the biblical Elamites, you wondering why they don't want anything to do with your democracy. Because look how much democracy has destroyed the people here in America. You know, you wondering why Russia don't want anything to do with your democracy. You wondering why these Arabian countries do not want anything to do with your democracy. The haughty people of the earth do languish. The earth also is defiled under the inhabitants thereof. Why? Because they, the Edomites, have transgressed the laws, changed the ordinance, broken the everlasting covenant. Therefore have the curse devoured the earth. Okay, in which you Edomites, you are that curse. You know, you're the people of the Lord's curse to judgment, right? Therefore have the curse devoured the earth, and they that dwell therein are desolate, right? Desolate morally desolate. People are so depraved, they'll do anything for a little bit of fame. And social media have made you people a bunch of fucking idiots. Therefore, the inhabitants of the earth are burnt and few men left. Okay? Furthermore, when we go to the book of Proverbs 29, verse 2, let's read that real quick. Come on, let's go. Proverbs 29, verse 2. When the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. But when the wicked beareth rule, the people mourn. Right. The people are mourning because the wicked is in rulership. Malachi chapter 1, verse 1. The burden of the word of the Lord to Israel by Malachi. Okay, I have loved you, saith the Lord. The Lord have loved Israel, the Israelites. Yet ye say, wherein hast thou loved us? Right? Was not Esau Jacob's brother? Saith the Lord. Yet I loved Jacob and I hated Esau. You see that? So the Lord loved the Israelites, the so-called Negro, Latino, and Native Indians. Okay? The Lord love us. You know? But y'all say, how come we're in the ghettos then? How come we don't have our own military? How come we don't have our own land, our own resources? Because we're under the curses of Deuteronomy 28, verse 15, down to 68. Okay? Okay? Out of love have the Lord punished us. The Lord punished us and put us in this condition because he loves us. Okay? But the Lord hates Esau. Okay? The Lord hates Esau. Let's go to Genesis real quick. Let's go to Genesis chapter 36. Okay? Genesis chapter 36, verse... Okay? This is Genesis 36, verse 8. Thus dwelt Esau in Mount Seir, which is where you can also find Petra at as well, Mount Petra. Okay, Esau is Edom. Okay, when you read that in the NLT, what does it say? So Esau, also known as Edom, settled in the hill country of Seir. which is really a mountain, not a fucking hill. There's a difference between a hill and a mountain. Okay? A hill is usually filled with grassy plains. Okay? Verse 9. And these are the generations of Esau, the father of the Edomites, and Mount Seir. You see? So Mount Seir is a mountain, not a fucking hill. So that's pretty much all I need to read. Now let's go to the book of Hebrews. Hebrews chapter 12. And let's read verse 16. Okay. Hebrews 12 verse 16. Lest there be any fornicator or profane person as Esau, who for one morsel of meat sold his birthright. Okay? He sold his birthright for a morsel of meat. Jacob didn't steal it. Okay? Esau got supplanted out of his birthright. Because the birthright and the blessings of the kingdom of heaven was ours from the beginning, even before heaven and earth was even created. The Lord simply gave our birthright to you Edomites just so y'all can give it to us as a part of the Lord's story. For ye know how afterward, when he would have inherited the blessing, he was rejected. For he found no place of repentance, though he sought it carefully with tears. Okay? So it's impossible for Edomites to receive salvation. So all these movies depicting Edomites as, you know, receiving salvation and all this other nonsense, and no, there's no way Edomites can receive salvation. Okay? And when you read the Zondervan's Compact Bible Dictionary, it tells you that Edom is the only nation of people who was not promised any mercy. Point blank fucking period, man. Fuck you, Edomites. And may Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai destroy your kingdom soon. More sooner than later. With that, I'm going to say Shalom is on to the next one. DTA Abad Babal.